Greetings all.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing out there?
Afternoon.
Yeah, it is afternoon already, huh? Yeah. Well, our morning went by quickly. We were outside meditating, doing some yard work, things like that, play with the animals. So this week, for this week's collective, Stace is going to be pulling from a whole entire new deck. We've been asked to do things a little bit different, and that's because we're going to be doing reading for our indigenous populations, for our nation's people. And I'm already hearing Stace's folk, cheeky guys, who I call them, that's what I refer to him as. He was letting Stace know how much he loves him. He loves him so much, and he misses hanging around him, and so he likes joining for these reads. But whenever I hear your folk, my mom tends to step right away. So because we're going to be reading for the indigenous populations, collectives out there, we're going to start with what Stace would traditionally be considered, which is the Beaver. And Stace's people are asking that whatever he pulls here, that we honor. Whether or not they want to talk about as above or so below with each of these different animal signs. So without further ado, we'll just kind of roll with it. Oh, I also want to say that I'm utilizing the Native American Tarot deck by this beautiful woman named Laura. I want to say is it Tuan, babe? Laura Tu. And it's got some native words on there. I can understand things like the Six of Swords and stuff, but you may see me pausing to ask Stace to pronounce something in his own language here and now. All right, here we go, baby. So what are we looking at? We're just going into the straight up, straight out, overarching energy for the beaver. Whether that be as above or so below.
Yes.
All right.
I'm ready.
Go for it, Beth.
Okay. What do we got here?
All right. I actually really like these. So we're talking to somebody that's a King of Pentacles in the upright. All right. So let's find out what Spirit wants us to know about the King of Pentacles in the upright.
That would be Chief.
Oh, okay. And that's somebody that, if we were looking at it from my side, would be like, all right, cool. They're responsible over money, things like that. So first of all, King of Pentacles for King of Pentacles. I guess confirmation that we are doing this correct straight off the bat.
There we go.
All right. We definitely want to talk to a King of Pentacles beaver. You have the Six of Swords. Whoever this is somebody that is attempting to move into calmer waters. Do you want to read any of these downlines here, babe? For your people? Oh, and I apologize. That's actually the Nine of Swords. Okay, that's the Nine of Swords. This is an independent. You just said chief, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. I have to adjust the focal. So we've got an independent, somebody that's very responsible, that right now is a wounded warrior. So when we pull the Nine of Swords, that's the wounded warrior card. So if I were looking at this traditionally, and this is what you don't see. You've also got the Nine of Chalices. This is somebody that has some wishes, has some dreams, but right now they're very wounded. They've got like a dream or a wish list, babe, whoever this is. And Spirit is saying, whoever this is, Four of Swords, which means eventually they will be celebrating. All right, I'm liking whoever this King of Pentacles is. That has been wounded. They definitely have some wishes that they will eventually be celebrating. All right, so I am going to go ahead and pull. I feel like I want to see for this wounded warrior, I feel like whoever this is for the Beaver out there, the Beaver Collective out there, You already probably know what your wounds are. I'm very curious to see what this Nine of Chalices is, what it is that you want to be celebrating. Because eventually it looks like as they're moving along, they are going to be celebrating. Are there any words that stand out to you, or do you think that, I mean, like I see, is that coop or cope?
Cool.
Cool, okay, yeah, so, and then spid, yes,
Spid.
okay. So it has your indigenous native population tribal words on here, but I apologize, I am not from any of the tribes, obviously.
Eepies.
Yep. Here we go, we've got the King of Pentacles again. I've asked for clarification for the Nine of Cups or Chalices, okay? What they have for wish and dreams. We've got a King of Pentacles. Once again, this is the third time we are pulling for the King of Pentacles. Wow. Your folk get right to it. And they're like, we're just making sure that they know who they are. All right. You want a Queen of Wands. They want a Queen of Wands, babe. Okay. So let's read to you in my how I would be interpreting things. Your cheeky guy is like, yeah, they do. So a King of Pentacles is somebody that's typically a very successful, strong provider, okay? Is trying to manifest and has in their Nine of Cups and in their dreams and things that they want for themselves, the Queen of Wands. And that's somebody that's typically independent, funny, confident, that sort of thing. All right, that sort of person, not really that sort of thing, but that sort of spirit, that sort of energy. They're saying, however, that in this Nine of Cups, and as you're, whoever this King of Pentacles is on the Beaver side here, that wants the Queen of Wands, there has been Five of Cups energy that they are laying down. So basically there's been a disappointment, sadness, regret, things like that, and they're laying down that burden with the Queen of Wands. So it's very interesting. You know what? I really like how they're showing this for your folk. Like, I feel like you guys are much more direct, and you're like, and we're just going to keep repeating that this is who we're talking to. Anything else here? No. Cheeky guy says, no, move on to Kipperish. All right. So we're going to talk to you a little bit further in the Kipperish side here. Right there. They're speaking to a divine masculine. Yep, and cheeky guy is saying, and you knew where you were going with this anyway. You heard me saying, like 3 times I've confirmed, cheeky guy says. This is a divine masculine that they're talking directly to. There's actual money here involved. I want to know a little bit more about that, please. This guy is saying some karma. Because karma, cheeky guy is saying, because of karma, actual money. Okay. Look on this other side. For this divine masculine, what cheeky guy on the other side, this is just how I know how to describe this guy. Because of karma, actual money. Okay? And those came up under the Ten of Wands, the lay down part. Lay down your burdens, lay down your debts, lay down things like this. And lay down the cup of emotion, the disappointment. Karma is now working in this divine masculine's favor, is what cheeky guy is saying. I hear him saying because it was owed, because it was due. He said it's overdue. It's overdue to the Beaver Collective. Overdue to the Beaver Collective. Anything else? Cleanse. He said all. He said all. All animals, all signs, cleanse. But what he is saying, cheeky guy on the other side, is saying is because for this divine masculine, because of karma, this person is overdue actual money. They need to cleanse. Lay down that 10 of Wands, he's saying. Lay down old burdens, old debts, old things like that, in order to get to the next leveling with King of Pentacles with Queen of Wands. Okay? So yeah, it's a very interrelated, intricate kind of thing. Whoever this is out there knows that they are owed. They are due, they are owed, and they are due this thing because karma in the universe is trying to balance out. What I hear cheeky guys saying is karma is trying to balance out these two things right here. The burdens that should have been laid down a long time ago. The past due regrets, the past due heartaches, things like that. Those are things that Spirit, your people on your side want to see whoever is receiving this message lay down so that they can understand and see for themselves that he's saying something about this not being your people's actual favorite type of pentacle energy, not being the most favored type of energy for your people. Your people tend to like to trade in more realistic things, things that can help somebody in the immediate sense. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You know, people that, see if I can explain this correctly. So whoever this is, the divine masculine that is connecting to their tribes is going to know that, does the word wigwam make sense? Or wigwam? Am I saying that right? Wigwam. He says wigwam makes more sense to my people. Is that something to do with money? Or pentacles or exchanging?
It has to do with rituals.
With rituals? Okay. He's saying that that's going to make a lot more sense to whoever this is. Wigwam makes a lot more sense in terms of how your people like to balance karma and negative old things in the universe. It really comes down to the divinity piece before they can move on to, true balance here. He's saying hold these up and say true balance comes via ritual and knowing what it is on your side to properly exchange. They don't particularly care for actual pentacle energy. Energy should be coming in the form of how we care for one another, how he's saying, he's pointing to this again. This, for example, for me, is my favorite. I just fucking love this. It's the nicest, kindest gift I've ever received. And he said that there are folk out there that need to understand that that's why wigwam is important to your folk, so that they can start understanding and seeing that exchange in a different kind of way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Gosh, I hope this makes sense to your folk out there.
Okay.
So that is what Cheeky Guy on the other side is saying. I call him Cheeky if you're new to this channel, because he makes sometimes cheeky comments, but then he's also very cheeky. He's appearing as very cheeky, and he cracks me up. He and my mom get along well because they both understand kind of that old version of snark and commentary that our generation would still understand, and so would the older folk, but not necessarily always the younger folk. So he operated in dark humor, this person, when he was here. I say there's no way he wasn't a boomer when he was on this side, because the strongest operators in dark humor are the boomers still to this day. They understand that. They understand that sort of thing, whereas the younger gens struggle a little bit more to understand. that. Okay, that was very interesting for that. I'm going to go ahead and he's saying no to sacred woundings. He's telling me to say, what do people out there think that they don't already have sacred woundings wise? He's saying your land was stolen. Oftentimes dignity, all of those things go generation. He said there's nothing in these sacred wounding cards that I tend to give to the other collectives or when I'm doing raven reads. Cheeky guy is saying, what does anyone in the collective or any of the animals think that they don't have to address here? Because those things, and I swear I've said it before in a reading, that those things pass along generation to generation to generation. And all of those wounds, he says, all of those wounds. He said that's why you do wigwam. He's saying that's why you do wigwam, to reestablish the karma, okay? And the karmic balance. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to you then?
Yes.
This guy's saying, all right, so he's told me to go ahead and pull from the crow, from the messenger cards, because they see me as the raven, or the crow, whatever you want to say. Okay. Following the glint. Your curiosity is your guide. Follow the spark. The what if, the intriguing possibility. And he's saying to please do wigwam. Wigwam is how you follow the spark, the guide, things like that on your guys' side. Ooh, cheeky guy is feeling powerful, and he's being a little less cheeky today, I will tell you that. Okay, am I okay to? Yeah. Yes. So they're telling Stace, do you want to read what you're hearing and what you're scrying? Stace is being given the gift of scrying from his people direct. I've told them I just don't care for it. I can hear, but I just don't care for it. It takes too much from my body. Cheeky guy again. It doesn't take as much as it did when you first started. True, but I still prefer the cards. I also have something that I prefer the message to be coming through this for me. All right, do you want to read this, Jim?
Chief of chiefs, provider. The perfect, not I would say from what I understand, the triangle is the most strongest form. 3, building dams.
Building dams.
The beaver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Failure is the teacher.
Okay.
Trade, overbalance, people, places, and things.
Mm-hmm.
A clearer giver, wigwam rituals, stomp dance ritual, and then I wrote in my native.
Okay. Do you want to show the?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know how to read the native scrying. But the chief of chief makes sense to me, because that's how strong your side is coming through for this beaver. You've got a chief of a chief of a chief. Is any of it? I'm asking him now. Mm-hmm. Because we were just having that generational. You know, all of this he's saying is true for all of the generations. Mm-hmm. So, is there any? He said, well, of course.
Yes.
He said chiefs pass down to chief. Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Chief of
I apologize. My side is Scottish, so I'm literally highly dependent on Stace for his own people here. So, but obviously we have the chief of the chief of the chief.
And handed down in generations.
Generationally being handed down here. This is so like, wow, your people are so... I mean, I'm not really shocked, because we are on your land, babe. We're on your land, talking to your people. So you guys are just so powerful, so powerful. But this is to do with the balance. And this wigwam situation, he's saying there's somebody out there that thinks the balance is something that goes against what your people see in terms of balances. Your people look at balances much differently, and he's just saying, if you do wigwam, you'll understand that this stuff is not, you know, the traditional way of exchanging. It's how the white man, and again, he's like, you're not offended. No, I am not offended. It's how the white man balances things, but it is not necessarily how your people like balancing things. Okay. Ooh, that is, God, your people are powerful. I'm going to get to the Moonology card here to talk about the moon. You and I know how much that stinking moon affects us and impacts us. This is the energy that's flowing through. I always read it as something that's flowing through whenever it comes out this way, babe.
Yeah.
The number 3, perhaps the chief of the chief of the chief.
Passing moons.
Passing moons. This one says worm moon. Now is the time to awaken to new possibilities. We literally just got that in this other card. Embrace fresh starts and the opportunities they bring. Awakening, fresh beginnings, opportunities. I'm going to take a wild guess that the chief of the chief of the chief is awakening and is fixing to do and understand karma in a completely different way than what the white man would understand karma. Cheeky guy's going, boy, you married a good one. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes, even like when my mom is in my ear, woo, like I'm her child, so she will, you know, whereas I feel cheeky guy holds back a little bit to be respectful and make sure that, you know. All right, the other thing I'm gonna go, no, I don't want this. He says no on this. This, yes. He says I can do an angel number because that would make sense. He says you guys also view angels a little bit differently than what we do as well. But he said the numbers are okay because it just helps the chief of the chief of the chief know who they are.
Yes.
This is awesome. All right, show me who the chief of the chief of the chief is, I guess. Let's see here. It's right there. Try to throw it right there. 2002. Okay. This says longing, technology, ambitious, genius, forward thinking, stress, and depression. Uh-oh. So he's already saying this should make sense to the chief of the chief of the chief when it comes to, before I even read this, why he's telling you wigwam instead of this. We don't try karmic balances this way. We do wigwam. We do this way to figure out. You have more control over your life than you realize. Learn and execute what interests you. Turn things around. It gets better with time. There are plenty of friends to make. So chill out, have fun, and open up. Go outside. Wigwam. Outside. He said that was going to make perfect sense.
There you go.
He's saying wigwam, wigwam, wigwam. I am probably hella mispronouncing that, and if I am, I'm so sorry to those out there. I'm going to go ahead and pull a spirit animal card. Is there anything you're feeling on your side, my love? He said to ask you.
Okay.
He said it wouldn't be a Stace reading if Stace didn't pull. These are still so sticky for me. These cards are still so sticky for me. They're trying to pull this third. He said this right here. So that's right here. Courageous steps for the chief of the chief of the chief. Okay? Each step is full of courage no matter how far ahead. He's saying don't let it be far ahead. Don't let it be far ahead. It's time for you to do wigwam, whoever this is for. He said this is for more than one, as per usual. The youngers really need to start stepping into wigwam. And as does, he says, as does Arjun, he said, across the line, start stepping into wigwam so that things can be passed down. That's Incredibly important, he says, for your side. All right, baby. What did you pull? What'd you pull?
Grandfather Sky.
Grandfather Sky. Okay.
Yep. There you go.
I'm trying to find the booklets, babe. Which one did you pull from?
The
Is it
Native Spirit.
Native Spirit, and I didn't bring the books over here. I apologize in case. I should have pulled those over here. Excuse me, all.
Grandfather.
Just in
Sky.
case, I should have pulled those a little bit. And what number is it? Or is, oh no, it's just the G, right?
Yeah, G. Grandfather Sky.
Okay. Grandfather Sky. Card meeting. This is your time to reach for the sky. Wigwam, he says, wigwam. Expansive energy, vitality, health, healing, and passion. These qualities are expanding in your life. The chief of the chief of the chief. The sky's the limit. You are a healer and a channel for the life force of the universe. Your ability to sense energy fields is increasing dramatically. Be prepared to soar to new heights. Your native spirit wants you to know, when you receive the Grandfather Sky card, you're entering into an expansive cycle. Do not hold back and repress what you feel. Your body and spirit will become drained. Okay? That's an awakening. The chief of the chief of the chief is awakening. If you strive to meet everyone's expectations but forget to honor your own needs, your energy field becomes dull. If you allow your emotions and needs the freedom to be spontaneously expressed, waves of incredible energy will expand inside of you. Running on your own resources, it's easy to become drained. However, letting the divine light of the Creator flow through you easily replenishes your soul. He says to read the journey part here too.
Right.
To deepen your connection to Grandfather Sky and bring an expansive energy into your life, stand outdoors with your arms reaching up to the sky. Wigwam.
Yeah.
He's saying this is wigwam. One of the fastest ways to bring joy and bounty into your life is through gratitude. Allow thankfulness to surge through you up into the heavens. Wigwam. Whoever this is supposed to be doing wigwam. The chief of the chief of the chief. As you do wigwam, I'm hearing him say you are going to understand that you simply just stop giving a shit about trying to pull karma. Giving a shit comes from me, not from him. Actually, he said he didn't care. It's just, he said it's just words to them on the other side, as long as we're not negative casting against people. That's like that's my mom says that all the time too. He said actual money is just, they don't care about actual money because and they balance karma in a different kind of way. Karma, he says, comes from this. So I'm a Libra, and for me, I'm like, oh, okay, well, if we're doing it this way, he's like, it becomes this. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let me go ahead and roll some dice. I always say I hope it makes sense out there, but he says it does. It makes perfect sense. We could be talking to a 58-year-old, somebody born in 95 or 98, somebody born in 93 or 90. Did I say 95 and 98? Mm-hmm. Yes. But they're also saying, he's saying somebody needs to find somebody that's more along the lines of 58, somebody that's older. The chief of the chief of the chief needs to find the chief of the chief of the chief. Okay. Do yoga. You know what? It never fails. So yoga means they want you to reset every last one of those chakras. Wigwam. He says wigwam for our people. Head home. He's saying home to you is earth, sky, Mother Nature is what he's saying. You know home is your own land, is your own people. Home is your own people. The earth, the sky, the land. That's home. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say that's what he's saying. I just want to make sure I'm not saying anything offensive because I don't know all of your rituals and your beliefs and stuff on that side. But this is what Cheeky Guy is saying. He said, no, it'll make sense to our people. So, okay, Trinky Charms, babe. Yeah. Somebody born in 1990, he says. The chief of the chief of the chief.
Ooh.
Understand who you are, whoever you are. Make a wish. Okay. We have W, M, and U, and A.
Mom.
Mum. Mum. We have the word mum.
Mom.
Mum. What, does that make sense?
Mom.
Okay. This was in the upside down. This is like a magical wand. He's saying our people don't give two craps about white people, Tinkerbell magic. We have trust the honeybee. The honeybee would never lie.
That's a name.
There I am. I'm bringing you a message.
Mom. Mama.
Mom.
Mama.
Mama. Okay.
Yeah, mama.
Head home to mama.
Mama. Look, see?
Well, mama.
M-U-M-M.
Okay, well, okay, I read that, I saw that, that's backwards, okay. I read that as an upside down W, apparently Stace knows the word. You're about to be soaring and flying high. The chief of the chief of the chief will be soaring high and flying high, and is not gonna care. He's saying, hold this up one more time, you're not gonna care about this. This is not how you or your people balance. And your spirit is telling you that that's true. Okay? All right. Wow. I hope that was helpful for the Beaver Collective. And I guess I wanted to say for the indigenous folk.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope that was helpful. Well, we both hope that was helpful.
Yes.
I'm not sitting here as the raven. I'm sitting here as the raven, but I'm, with Madu de Fudu. So I'm just not sitting here alone. So I don't think I could do these messages if I were, babe. Seriously, like, the chief of the chief of the chief. Can you even imagine pulling that through my... Yeah. All right. Well, we love you guys.
Thank you.
Right. Bye.